5 years ago, I was measuring my wealth in bags of ice. I worked the overnight shift at a sprawling, fluorescent-lit warehouse, stacking pallets and running inventory for a bottled water company. My shift ran from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., and I was paid $18 an hour to listen to the hum of industrial freezers and watch my sleep schedule disintegrate. I was 23 years old, living in my mom's basement, and my most valuable possession was a bachelor's degree in finance. I used to calculate how many hours of freezer time equaled one student loan payment. The gap between what I knew and how I was living wasn't just embarrassing, it was a physical ache in my chest at 3 in the morning, surrounded by pallets of spring water. If you've ever clocked into a job that makes you feel invisible, or laid in bed after a long shift wondering if this is all the real world is, you get it. That numb fatigue is a signal. And what I'm about to walk you through is the exact playbook I used to answer it. This is purely my perspective, the strategy I reverse engineered from my own failures. But I think the framework is universal. My first real job after the warehouse was as a dispatcher for the same food and beverage distributor. $44,000 a year. I lasted 4 months. I quit because my entire job became apologizing to angry store managers for late shipments, a skill that shockingly wasn't on my resume. In my mind, that wasn't a setback, it was critical intelligence. The lesson? Any job that doesn't hand you a tangible technical skill you can name and demonstrate is a ticking clock. It's just a louder, slightly better paid version of the basement. So I took a sideways step into retail management for a big box store. It paid less, but it got me out of the night shift and let me think. Then I finally landed a junior analyst role back in the CPG world at a baked goods manufacturer. $55,000 a year. I didn't care about the prestige. I cared about the verb. Built, automated, analyzed. For a year and 4 months, I turned myself into a master of production data and cost modeling. I tracked ingredient yield, analyzed line efficiency, and forecasted regional demand. I wasn't working for a title at that company. I was assembling a portfolio of proof for the next one. This is where my personal philosophy crystallized, and maybe it's controversial, but here's my thinking. Loyalty, early on, is just deferred income, deferred to your employer. My plant manager at the time sketched out a 5-year glide path to a senior role. I thanked him, compiled every cost-saving analysis and efficiency dashboard I created, and became a senior analyst at a major packaging company 6 months later for $85,000. The jump wasn't luck. It was a transaction. I provided documented evidence of how to save money in manufacturing, and they provided a $30,000 raise. Now, here's where you can help me out. If this way of thinking is clicking, if you're starting to see your own jobs as chapters in a case study you're writing, then tap that subscribe button. It lets me know this is resonating and helps me break down these tactics for more people who feel stuck. That senior role was the game changer. I was 24 in corporate HQ, and we were thrown real responsibility. I built models for capital investments in new machinery and analyzed the profitability of entire product lines. But when the company announced it was being acquired by a private equity firm, I didn't see a cliff. I saw a launch pad. I had over a year of senior-level projects that directly impacted the bottom line. So I interviewed, methodically, for months. The offer was $125,000 in base salary, plus a $20,000 annual bonus at a major chemical manufacturer. My total compensation jumped from $85,000 to $125,000 in under 2 years. Let me be clear. This is just my story and my speculation on what worked. I'm not presenting a universal truth, but the pattern feels undeniable. The traditional path is designed for patience. Your power comes from impatiently building demonstrable value and being willing to monetize it somewhere new. The chaotic moments, the mergers, the layoffs, the market dips, are just auditions. They test whether you'll react from emotion or from a prepared file of your own accomplishments. The warehouse, in hindsight, was my secret weapon. Because once you've navigated out of a place that dims your light, you learn to always carry a map. You stop fearing the dark. So start drafting your own case study. The first piece of evidence is always the one you create today. Let me know in the comments what the first line of your resume rewrite is going to be.